Sanji Shunai Suni Chonalan Chamtrul Bardo Shantin Jarbu Savla Kushan Sar Gumboladro Aryan Dewanda Tome Nyam Sholan Chuji Cha Chuchun Shahwa Silas Zamlin Janshu Navla Kushan Sar Zamlan Zibi Jandun Shoni Da Tuji Lordon Yambin Tamaya Natru Tambar Vipit Shuji Kondi Shukur Tombin Honshin Timmy was a Shavla Kushan Shipjagan Chindola Gypsy. Timmy was a Yamcher to Terenzo, was a Lonchin Namkin Namjerb Jimmy Limbi Shavla Kushan Sangin Cheranya Lasher, Kundo Zambo Monam Number Jan, Sipsi Jarin Lin Zanzep Mipam Jamsu Shabla Kushan Sar Pame Tuxi Torjib Dunjumji Turbi Namra Lira Lampikar Matu Londa Ripi Hwarjib Jit Jingme Pimso Shabla Kushan Sar Kamsum Korwa no Junum Jimbe Sabjilam Yonden Darjinba Nilu Ranger Tumbi Namjun Yeshi Wamchu Shabla Kushan Sar Konzandur Sim Garab Shirasan Pema Kara Jimbon Yushunga Sozar Namnya Tirtun Jersas Katir Lama Namla Kushan Sar Kanda Choju Dongun Jidina Desalamar Jura Kansata Under Tumbi Suji Shem Simbrando Bateda Tamche Under Shashi Namoya Dambal Haigadala Dano Jinke Tum Dana Make and Nam Dua Kunji Jerkism Tamche get the Chujan to Jurji. Yes, prayer on English. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all sentient beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and the other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all sentient beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and the other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all sentient beings live in great equanimity, which is close and the others and distant. Okay, so we are going to explanations about the 6 Bardos further from yesterday. So this intermediate state we can division into, there's 6 categories we mentioned to you. The intermediate state of a reality, the nature, the intermediate state of concentration, the intermediate state of dream, intermediate state of death, intermediate state of reality, intermediate state of becoming. So we mentioned these 6 the introductions yesterday. So today we are going to detail and explanations of the last 3 Bardos. So the last 3 Bardo, the first one is the Bardo of death. So the death Bardo of the disrupted elements. These death we first to know what is the actual causes of this death. And generally can be so many different various different kinds the causes of the death, but can division into the three categories and briefly, which is the cause of the death by exhausting the wants of lifetime. The second cause of the death is exhausting about the merits, the cause of life. And the third cause of the death is untimely death. So these are the three. The first one, why we say exhausting of one's lifetime. When the Buddha Shakyamuni comes on this earth, that this was 2,600 years before. So that moment was the average durations one's lifetime of the human being 100 years old. That is the one's lifetime, cannot be more longer than this, the average durations, because 100 years old. But now is this nowadays is more than is 2,600 years gone. So as our life is shorter and shorter compared to the former time. It's more shorter. So in this way, the durations of the average durations one's lifetime of a human being could be 700 years old. Medical science, what they says. But according to the Tibetan philosophical way, and then we said the average duration one's lifetime of human being is 60 years old. So therefore, when we on this time is exhausting about of once of our lifetime, and then even medicine Buddha, Amitayu long life Buddha appears there, but cannot be stopped. So that is the nature, the situations, the cause of our death. That's the first cause of the death. And then the second cause of the death is when the exhaustion of the marriage. So that means is even if we are still young, but it can be sometimes there happened problems. That means is because our marriage, the power of our previous marriage is very low. The power of the marriage is very low. It's not strong. And then it's even still young, but it can be, could be sometimes lost our life. And this part we can do something better of your practice, pujas, prayers. Means is we need to add the merits on top of your previous merits because too low. For example, like the torch, the lamp, the butter lamp. You want to keep very strong light in the night, and then we need to continuously add the oil on the top because the oil will be exhausting. Then the torch is gone, the fire is gone. So the oil is the oil like the merits when they start to nearly to the exhaustion. Then we need to collect it again and again the merits. So any different kind of your virtues could be of the cause of the collection of merits, but especially for long life, the merits for long life is very good to give the generosity of giving the protections or the fear of death. Meant is to save others' life, saving to others' life, or releasing the beings who are going to die, like animals, chickens, pigs, or the yaks, or sheep, snakes, fish. so forth. Any kind of the something, no matter as big or small, tiny animals, if you can protect the life, if you can releasing them with your compassion, motivation on the compassion and love, and then if you can dedicate these virtues to the long life, that is a very great method for recollection the merits, the actual causes of particularly for long life. But that is not only for long life, of course. That's very great virtues, but especially very powerful. These merits is for long life. And so because so many people happen the problems even young, but is we have the cost our lives, because when they're exhausting the merits, so this meant is the sign was our previous time. Many times we hurt others' life, we killed many other beings, or we beat them or something. We cheating them, something of there happened problems from them. So this imprint of previous misdeed, negative action of killing stored on the stream of mind. So therefore, not only this time we have short life, but many times if we kill one sentient beings, then is even we reborn in the higher and the human realm, but it will be continuously the short life is during the more than 500 years, the more than 500 times our life again and again. The short life is coming the problem. Even we have free from the low realms, after free from low realms and born the higher, but still happened. So in this case, is we need to know how to collection merits again from health and for health, good health, and for long life. So in this way, some of them is a very long life, very health, as a good health. That is also the sign. Is the previous some of the action is very good enough to release other sentient beings' life or to support it like medicals or so forth. So that is the second. The cause of the death is with the exhaustion of the merits. So this is the puja, not only of course for collection merit, but together you can also go to check up to the doctors and the hospitals or take medicine pills or and the together one set of dharma way, karmic way, we can collect the merits, added to the merits, and the same time is the favorable conditions also very important. So relying on the advice of the doctors, the medical, the scholar doctors, and together, and then this person can be more longer life, long life. You can change of this short life, can change the obstacles. That's the second. And then third, the untimely death. So untimely death. This is because still very young. That is not really the time is on of the exhaustion of one's lifetime. Still young. And then also the merits is not like that much low. Still you have merits, quite good, but still possibilities sometimes we lost our life untimely, like accident, like the shooting or earthquake, thunderbolt, or something of like the hurricanes or tornadoes or something like this. Just suddenly unfavorable, the external conditions appears and then is dead. That's untimely dead. Suddenly, swiftly, and momentarily is dead. Have no options, no choice. Cannot depend only the obstacles in the moment. That's the third cause of the death. So we are talking this Bardo teaching of the death is particularly is the detailment is relying on the first two causes of the death, because the untimely death, then you cannot do much detailed practice. You cannot recognize the process of the dissolution stage, many detailments, because very short comes of the death. So anyway, now we're going to little bit detail explanations. The first, the Bardo, the death Bardo. So this intermediate state of death, this I mentioned to you, the durations depend the situation of a dying person himself or herself. Very quick can be even 1 minute or 1 hour during can exhaustion of the durations of the intermediate state or death. If a long one is a slow one, it can be even as a weeks, month, and years takes time to be exhausting of once of the duration, intermediate state of death. This I mentioned to you before. So now how we start to recognize the intermediate state, actual death, Bardo of death. This is when you get the unpleasant disease, which is the actual cause of death, sense, until your consciousness will be separated from your physical body. And between there, these durations we say is the death. That is the death, intermediate state of death. Yeah. And now we need to know something. Everything of something grow up, and the end must be the exhausting. That is the nature of the definition of compounded phenomena. All the compounded phenomena are changeable object. So our birth is one of part of this compounded phenomena I mentioned you before. Nobody want to die, but nobody can stop the death. That's also one of nature, the compounded phenomena. Not only our life, but all the object of the compounded phenomena are impermanence. You know, even the world, the universe, the kalpas of the universe are the end must be exhausting. So therefore, everything something is the compounded phenomena are we can division into including the better of 4 stages, which is the creation stages, the creation stage, abiding stage, and disintegration stage, and wordness stage. The kalpa, or the world, the universe, very beginning, has collected the so many of the atoms, quarks, or the particles start to performing from the empty space, very beginning of the Abhidharma, Buddhism philosophy, the philosophy way, how they created of this world. As a similar, the scientists, how the explanations after the Big Bang, how performing this world is a similar. Anyways, that start very beginning, the creation stage. And then is the text is maybe 100 years, thousands years to developing, to increasing of the creation stage, to complete of the creation stage. And then is the second stage is the abiding stage. Abiding stage also could be this world, this universe can be existent, continuously remaining as 100 years, thousands years, billions years, you know. But what does happen after abiding these stages? And then will be start the third stages, the disintegration stages will be start. Means it will be start to exhaustion, will be start of explosed. This also takes very long. It's during the hundreds of years and thousands of years, takes billions years to exhaustion of this world, you know, start of the stages of the disintegration stages. And then the end, the last moment, the fourth stage is what happened as everything of the phenomena of the universe, the world will be exploded in atoms, which means is the stages of wordness stages. And then that is remaining on the wordness stage. It can be also hundreds of years, during thousands, takes kalpas, sometimes only just the wordness stage, the emptiness, space, only this emptiness means just space, or exploded in atoms only, you know. So this just the world, the universe, the galaxies, for example, how created, how abiding, and how the disruption, and how it will be an exalt into the of the space. That's the generally. Same likewise as everything's, even one single, one the followers. Also, as they start first is from the creation stage, and then abiding stage. Maybe the followers is blooming completed, and then it's blooming, and then it's maybe it can place to 1 week or 1 month or so forth abiding, and then will be start disintegrations, and then the end is the followers dissolve into the of the atom, So that is means is the wordness stage. So everything. So in this case, this human birth now same sense when you start to the creation stages from your past, the previous projecting karma, linking or projected into the penetrate into the mother's womb between these two cells, from father and from mother, the sperm cell from father, the ovum, the egg, red eggs from mother, and merging these are the three together, the karmic energy, the consciousness, and the two essence from parents, and merging together, and then mutually supported to each other, and then performed the ovum existent in the mother's womb, the embryo existent in the mother's womb, and then start to grow up weekly and monthly, So that is just the creation stage, for example, like the creation stage, the human body, for example. And then is completed, the creation, the stages is complete, and then is born, is giving birth, mothers, and then is abiding stages, and continuously how long how many years old, 40 years, 30 years, something and around like this. These are the abiding, the stages of this human birth. And then is after is like the 50 years, 60 years, and then will be start disintegration, the stages start and getting older and older, and then is there's not balance of the element of body, and then is there's sick, ill, so many is the sign of the the dissolution stage of this human birth. The process of dissolution stage start to coming. So anyway, that is takes several years or couple of years, and then what the end is happened is the the wordness stages. That meant is dissolving into all these coarse level of 5 aggregates, human 5 aggregates. The gross level of aggregate 5 aggregates will be dissolving into the subtle form, which means is like exposed to the earth into the atom, similar like that, So this is a very general how grow up, how dissolve into the foundations to the foundations. So similar. So we also need to understand first the process of development stage and the process of dissolution stage. So in this way, when the beginning in the mother's womb, it's important to collecting to mating of the 5 element or 6 element. Earth element could be relies of this the embryo, and then the water element. By the water element power, the function is to gathering about this of the substantial existent things of the embryo, and the bed of fire element is giving the seals, the essence become maturation or maturation or repent, and better of the wind energies powers to increasing about this embryo, and then is the of the consciousness, the energy of the consciousness power is to developing of the 5 sense source of the consciousness, so forth, very beginning. And the space element also very important. The fifth element is space element. Better function of space element will be performing the chance of this embryo existent and to giving the chance, the opening the chance to developing space, So this all is at the very beginning how creating of this human body in the mother's womb, the embryo. But not only this, but these 6 elements will be performing in the coarse level stages of flesh, bones, such the skins or the solitude object is mainly from earth element. And then the blood, the liquid, also moisture of our body's element is composed better of a water element, function better water element. And the temperature of our body is composed better mainly of the fire element. And the wind, our breathing circulation element is mainly performed from the wind element. And then is the cavity of our whole body, like nostrils or so forth. This all is composed better of a space element. And then the 5 sense source consciousness, the coarse level 5 sense source consciousness composed better mainly of the consciousness element. So this just was the performed of this human body, created to this human body, as we know, as usual. So now we now start to the process of dissolution stage. Today we are going because we're talking the death Bardo, the distorted elements, because as long as the 4 or 5 elements or the 6 element is the balance, is a red balance, and then you are healthy, as there's comfortable, your life is still existent. But if there's not balance of this 4 element, 5 element between of the 6 element, not balance, and then is a problem start to coming in the ill and disease, sickness, illness is coming. That is meant to start to performing the actual cause of the death is coming start. So and then we need to talking now the dissolution stage. So what is the object of dissolution stage? According to the Tantra teaching of Buddhism, we can division into, and briefly is there's 25 different kind object of the coarse level dissolution stage will be gradually dissolving into the subtle form or the subtle of the base clear light dissolving into, which is 5 aggregates, the coarse level of 5 aggregates, the object of dissolution stage, the 5 faculties, and then the 5 sense source object, the 4 element, 5 wisdoms, we can say also. So this is totally the 25 object of the dissolution stage. So the 5 aggregates of form, aggregates of feeling, aggregates of recognition or perception, aggregates of mental composition factors, aggregates of consciousness. That is the fundamental of this human birth. The coarse level, the contaminated 5 aggregates. So these 5 aggregates is related, of course, including by these 5 aggregates, all the I mentioned before, the 6 faculties or 5 faculties, 4 element, and so forth. So therefore, is when they start to dissolving your aggregates of a form, or the 5 aggregates coarse level dissolving start into the subtle form or subtle aggregates. That moment now we can see, should be recognized. There's 2 different signs appears of this process of the dissolution stage. 2 different signs. outer sign and inner sign. For example, the outer, the common sign, the sound from others' speech, you not clear to hear. You cannot distinguish very clearly the word, the meaning. And also you feel is far. The speech, the word, or the word comes from the sound. Comes from very far, even close, just beside of your ear or your pillow. But you feel is somebody talking to the from very far. And then also the color. Also not easy you distinguish which is yellow, which is blue, so forth. Blank color appears on your mind. And similarly, hard to distinguish the good smell and between bad smell. Hard to distinguish the good taste and bad taste from the tongue. For example, hard to distinguish very is the smell, the contact, feeling. This all is the sign, because the 5 aggregates course levels start to then dissolve into subtle, and the 5 the sense faculties will be start to dissolve, and the same time the 5 sense source object is also will be dissolving. This all is the sign, the sign of this dissolution stage. In that moment, now we can say a little bit in detail way. First, the flesh or the flesh element. There's two kind of difference we can explanations. One, the coarse level dissolve into the subtle, and one is the subtle element dissolve into the another element. So which means is if we say flesh element will be dissolving into the earth element. That is according to the very coarse level we're talking over the process dissolution stage. And the other word we can say, the subtle level, where we can say the earth element dissolving into the water element, we can say. But this element does not mean is the flesh. It will be completely dissolved into the earth. Does not mean the earth completely dissolved into the water. Does not mean. But the energy of flesh or the energy of earth will be dissolving into the water element. That's the point. So in the Tantra we so many different kind of energies. The wind of earth, wind of fire, wind of from water, and the energies from the wind of wind, the energies of wind, so forth. So this is the point, the meaning. So first, anyway, the flesh element will be dissolved into the ground, or the ground element, earth element, will be dissolved into the water. So during this dissolution stage, we can recognize there's 2 different signs appears, outer and inner. I mentioned you. What is the outer sign now? The specific from this dissolution stage, the outer sign. The dying person's, the flesh, the limbs of the is become more into what shrink, or become as thin, as tiny, as it become more, or means it's shrink. And that same time, and the dying person sometimes they request to the pull up of the pillows or something, the bed, or maybe they ask to open the windows or open the door or something. Why they ask to add the pillow? But actually it's a high. But they feel is himself as a sinking something in the inner of something is like the sinking feeling, is the dullness feeling is coming. The heaviness, the weakness feeling is coming more his body. So therefore he want to little bit pull up, but actually it's quite high places. But he or her vision, mind is illusion is coming. No, that is why I'm talking before the name. This Bardo, we say death Bardo of the distorted elements. So now is the elements distorted, then feeling is vision is changed, So their sinkingness feeling is coming, and then they request if they can speak, say, please, may I can pick up a little bit more, or may I please have the higher the pillow or so forth, extra, or sometimes they request, may I take out from the horse, because their feeling is a very uncomfortable and sinking something, darkness feeling, so forth. So anyway, this is the outer sign, the dissolution stage of the earth element into the water, or the flesh element dissolving into the earth. At the same time, simultaneously, we'll be experiencing the inner sign by the only himself of the dying person. The outer sign is can recognize the observer of the other peoples, but is the inner sign is only the dying person himself or herself can experience only. So what is the inner sign? Because, and when the beginning I mentioned before, the sound is changed, smell is changed, the object of the contact is changed, and the feeling is changed, the recognition is changed, many things, and then is illusorily, and the mind is the vision, and the internal, and the vision mind is the perceptions, like we say, smoke arising, something in the burning in the forest, and then it's the very strong arising the smoke. Something on the mind, the vision, the he or her, the dying person's perceptions, like arising smoke, like something. That's the inner, the dying person's perception, or the sign, the dissolution stage of earth. And then the second dissolution stage, we say, the blood element will be dissolving into the water element, accordance of the coarse level, speak. And then accordance of the subtle way, we can say the water element dissolving into the fire element. So during this dissolution stage, again, we can recognize, again appearances, there's two different signs, outer and inner. So again, the outer signs can see the observer of the other peoples can see the outer sign, not only the dying person himself, the outer sign. So which is dripping from the nostrils, from mouth, cannot control some liquid, or the slivers, or so forth, something like this, is dripping from the nostrils and mouth, and naturally is flowing. This is the outer sign, because the water element, the energy's power is not enough strong. So therefore, that is the sign, because water dissolves into the fire element, or the blood element, the moisture, liquid element of our body will be start dissolving into the water elements. So this is the outer sign. And then at the same time also, the fire element is more strong, and the water element is less, the power, the energy of water energy is less power, and the fire energy is more strong. So is the dying person's the root of a tongue, and the lips, the mouth, and said it's become more dry, and the eyeballs also has become more dry, because the fire element energy is strong, and the water element is less power, so therefore it's become dry, the root of the tongue, or so forth, the eyeballs, so forth become. This is the outer sign, the dissolution stage of water into fire, or the blood element dissolve into the water. And then at the same time, the dying person himself or herself can experiencing the inner sign. Now, as the previous, I mentioned the smoke, arising the smoke like the vision perceptions, now change, transferring into the vision of the perceptions into the mirage water, like very the sunny day in the desert, and the place, so you can see is there's like the mirage, like water, like river, like the reflection, the illusorily appears there. That's a mirage of water. So it's everything's on the mind, appearances, the perception, he or her vision is like mirage, the mirage of water, like this. The smoke arising like the vision mind is transferring into or changing into the of mirage, the mirage of the water like so appears. So this is only himself, the dying person experienced. This is because inner sign. This is the second dissolution stage, the sign of second dissolution stage. Okay? And then the third dissolution stage, we can say the temperature of our body gradually will be dissolving into the of fire element, accordance of coarse level word. And then accordance of the subtle way dissolution stage, we can say fire element will be dissolving into the wind element. We can say. So in that moment, again, is we can recognize that again appearances. There's two different signs of outer and inner. So the outer sign can see again the observer or the other peoples also can see. The outer sign is start to exhausting about the heat, the temperature of body. The start from the toes of the feet and the fingers, so forth. Something is started to exhausting the heat temperature of our bodies from out, and from out to and towards dissolve into the gradually dissolving, gathering into the point of center of body. And cement is the center of the heart, dissolving into heat is in this gradually will be dissolved into four directions and dissolve into the center of body and the heart. You know, the temperature has become cooler, colder and colder. So this is the sign. The temperature element dissolve into the fire, or fire element dissolve into the wind element, the outer sign. But there, this outer sign, just I mentioned, is just generally, it's normal. The regular sign is that. But there's individually, sometimes the specific sign depend of the dying person's karma. Sometimes you can see some special dying persons, the temperature of the heat of the body start from the upper part of the body towards dissolve into the center, and then start in the lower part. You know, the first is dissolving, the temperature of the heat is start from the upper part, dissolving. But this is the bad sign, actually, very special bad sign, because immediate next rebirth is they are falling unfortunate three lower realms. Maybe hell realms, maybe hungry ghost, maybe animal realms. Because the energy of consciousness separation is a different part of the body. We have 9 doors to out of the consciousness from this physical body, but this we will be talk as later after coming. So anyway, so therefore is because the energy always is they have connected to the of channels, essence, and the karmic wind, means the consciousness, the mind, dualistic grasping mind. So wherever there's a remaining the main point of the karmic consciousness, and there is they have the power, the heat, So therefore is this because the consciousness lives from upper part of your body, that's actually is more good next rebirth. If consciousness lives from the lower part of your body, and that is bad. So this is the sign why it's a bad sign, because this is the sign to your consciousness separate from your part of lower part of your body, because the heat is first exhaustion on the upper part, and the end, exhaustion completely the temperature of your body from part or lower. That's the bad sign. It's a very special person, and unfortunately maybe a very strong negative karma and very less virtues, and then immediate next rebirth is falling lower realm. And then the contrary, the sign about this is the temperature of a body start exhausting from the lower part of body towards to the and the center of heart completed, and then start at the temperature exhaustions start from the upper part This, the last part, is the upper part of body exhausting and the temperature. That is a very special good sign, because if our consciousness can separation from upper part, particularly in the Brahma hole, and the center channel, in the center of your crown, that is next rebirth is maybe you will be born in the Buddha's Pure Land. Even not, unless you reborn in the higher and the fortune, good family or good parents, or so forth. Good, but especially as a Pure Land, can be sign. That's a very, very good sign. So this is the outer sign, and anyways, but the regular generally is dissolved into the center of the body, the four directions of your body. Anyway, that's the outer sign. And then at the same time could be experiencing the inner sign, the himself of the dying person or herself, which is the mirage water, illusion mind, the perception object or mirage water like change, transferring into, this vision is the perceptions change, transferring into spark, fire spark, or maybe we say fire flames, something like this. In the night, darkness place is the burning some trees or the forest, and then you can see the jumpingness, many different with sound of the spark, the fire is shooting, or in the darkness is many the fire is flying, and then you can see also as like jumping fire, like so many things. So, but your vision of before the mirage water, like the perceptions, totally now is transferred into the like spark fire spark, This is also illusion mind, because as I mentioned before, this is the intermediate state of death of the disrupted elements, So because the four elements is that no balance, and then which is more as a different strong, and then your vision mind is also that kind like appears, Like what I mentioned, you first is like smoke arising like, and the second is like mirage water like, because water element dissolve into the fire. Now as fire element start to the non-balance and then dissolve into the of the wind, and then there's a spark fire like, so on, so forth. So as the vision, mind, the perceptions change. This is the inner sign, the dissolution stage of the third temperature, or fire element dissolve into the wind element, the third sign of the death. And then the fourth dissolution stage object is, we say, the breathing, the breath element dissolving into the wind element according of the course descriptions, course level, and accordance of the subtle way, descriptions of subtle way, then we can say the wind element will be dissolving into the of consciousness, we can say. And this fourth dissolution stage, during that fourth dissolution stage also again, as there's two different signs appears of outer and inner. So the outer sign first, the dying person's the breathing circulation unusual, not stable, sometimes strong, sometimes less strong, sometimes it's quick, fast, sometimes slow. The breathing is not normal, not usual. That's the outer sign that the people, the observation, those observers, they, if carefully check, they can see something is strange or something is wrong. So he or her, the breathing circulation is unusual, very unusual, special sign appears. This is the outer. At the same time moment, and the inner sign experiencing by himself of the dying person. I mentioned before the third sign of the spark fire, like this now transferring into these perceptions, transferring into the of we say butter lamp or candle light, like the vision, everything, what appears on the perception, the perceiving, kind of like shimmering butter lamp or shimmering candle light, not stable but very shimmering. When the nearly to exhaustion of the oils, at the last moment is then very big light appears and very shimmering, and then is the dead, the fire is exhaustion. So similar like is the shimmering butter lamp at the last moments, because the wind element, the breathings dissolve into wind, or the wind element will be dissolving into the consciousness, So, and then that's the inner sign. So these 4 stages of the sign of during the 4 stages of dissolution state, that is very coarse level sign. Because we can divide into there's 2 different stages: coarse level dissolution stage and the subtle level dissolution stage. But we mentioned these 4 stages only including on the coarse level, the gross level dissolution stage, and the gross level the sign of these 4 stages dissolution stage. But we will talk and the further and the subtler, the internal dissolution stages we were talking. But this is the first 4 stages of the coarse level, the gross level sign. So that is the process of dissolution stage, the coarse level during the death. So now, when this sign all of the dissolution stage of aggregates, faculties, object, the sense object, and the 4 element, everything is there completely appears clearly the sign dissolution stage. Then what we need to do if we are practitioners, Dharma practitioners? Of course, if you can, as much, even as there's some appears the sign, still is good. Try to puja, prayers, or some is to take the medicines and go to a doctor or the hospital as much can. Still is try to make the long life or the something is recovered or something treatment as much you can. But and finally, the medical of the science, they also they says cannot, as the medicine cannot help, and the puja prayers also cannot. And then you yourself also you feel very much clear this sign, all these signs of the dissolution stage. Then what we could do? Then we need to focus on your practice is more important. Dharma practitioners have many different methods to transfer your consciousness easily to the next rebirth of a higher realm, or transfer into the Pure Land, Buddha's Pure Land, or so forth during the death. This dissolution stage, that is a perfect time, the right time to transfer your consciousness. When they decided, everything appears the sign of death, common or uncommon. So now, what is the one special method? The power, the transferences of the consciousness, that's the power, means power practice. But if you have not before learned any about the power practice, you have no any experience, you have no, then is we can say, and the moment you yourself can transfer in consciousness by power, because you doesn't know. But you had already experienced how training, you already trained your mind with the power practice during your intermediate state of the reality, the nature time, nature life. Means during your past, maybe you already received the power teachings from teacher, and then you already practice, trained your mind completely, and you have already see appears the sign of the accomplishment of the power, the achievement state of power, the sign you had already experienced, and then maybe sometimes you over and over you did practice about the power, and then you have very familiarity, you have very habituated about how transferring your consciousness by the power, and during these moments when you recognize the sign of the dissolution stage appears, the death, that terms you should be use your actual used by your actual power practice. That is in fact exactly the transformation of your consciousness, transferring your consciousness from this physical body of the contaminated aggregates and transferring into the of uncontaminated aggregates, means it's a pure land, like So in this way, it's good to focus your mind is one pointed on the three recognitions. The center channel, you recognize one's own center channel to recognize the path of the travelers. And your consciousness, you recognize the travelers or the guest, like. And then above of your current, you just keep your faith, devotion towards to of the Guru Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha. Wisdom and compassion, the embodiment, compassion, wisdom appears as the Amitabha Buddha. Nature is the indivisible, inseparability, one test of your the lineage and the root gurus or so forth, or three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas. Anyway, but that is the Buddha actually, and particularly Amitabha Buddha. We just keep your faith of this Amitabha Buddha above of your crown. So this is the Amitabha Buddha field is your recognition must be, that is the final destinations, final descent of this traveler of your consciousness. The traveler of your consciousness, final descent is above of your crown. That is Buddha field. Just you decided, you just focus on these two recognitions. Your mind one-pointedly focus in the center channel, point of heart level, and then your energies and attentions towards to the above of your crown. That is very strong. You desire or wish to transfer your consciousness towards to the through the out of your Brahma hole and to the in the Buddha's pure land, born and miraculously born in the lotus flower. So it's Amitabha Buddha's heart, we can say also. Focus on there. That's final your destinations. So these three recognition, if you can keep, but need faith, of course, with the faith, with great devotion, and then it decided without any attachment of desire, the samsara, without any attachment and cravings to the of samsara or the three existent, without any no attachment to your possessions, your welfares, your families, your countries, your world. Also, you must be is a renunciation completely to all this. This is the samsara. Just you decided, okay, I'm meaninglessly, so the dead many times since beginning. There's over and over 100,000 billion times. But this time I'm lucky because I'm with this 18 qualities of this human precious body and met holy teaching, holy teacher, and I have the having received of such of instruction of the lineage to the power of the transformations of this consciousness, the power or so forth. So that this my death is the last time, the last death of samsara. I must be, now I never will death again. This comes like this normal ordinary way. I must be is go to in the extraordinary way, with the wisdom and compassion. So I must be caught the root of ignorant and the root of cherishing or self-cherishing. I must be caught of the delusions, the obscuration of delusions, or destroy, attachment, so forth. So without any attachment, and just only focus on the faith and devotions and towards to the of Buddha's pure land, And then if you can focus on this motivation, if you can pass away, and then as 100%, we can guarantee, immediate next rebirth, you will be miraculously born in the lotus flower of Buddha Amitabha's pure land. That's because you're projecting and achieving motivation, achieving karma is very positive, the aspiration and the dedications and the projecting energy, the achieving energies on the of these three recognitions. So, but unfortunately, it's 80% around normally is ordinary people, more than 90% is we have strong
attachment to the of possessions, because you know that is the end of life. So what going coming is my friend, my children, my grandchildren, or my money, my car, my horse. As so many things. There's my jewels, so many. If they're rich, then they're more worried about this. Or the kings, queens are more worried. So that moment, because everything left behind, there is no options, cannot carrying, cannot follow. So therefore, it's more worried. That is the attachment, craving. This disturb very much your practice, and they disturbed very much also as there sometimes is disrupt your next rebirth, the higher realms, and the good birth, disturbing, obscure you to good birth. So therefore, as much you can, at relaxed and rest and peace, mentally, even physically, of course, sick, pain, ill, very weak, but mentally, as long as you can keep your convictions, can keep all the perceptions clearly, and then focus on the positive, and forget completely of the negative emotions and focus on positive emotion. That's very important. And then also the observer, the attendant or something, the who serves to you and around there, those people also very important to take care of this dying person very nicely. Meant is very peacefully, as much can the chance more peace. Because the observer, those people, they are very rushing, and they're very the whisper, talk each other, something in the air, something in front of this dying person, and they are cry, something like this, and they're then this dying person also is make nervous, more nervous, and more sad, and more spear, or more disappointed, or more something sadness feeling. It's more uncomfortable feeling, because they see those attendant of those peoples, what they're doing, And so therefore, better, of course, the surrounded people are very sad, but as showing is a little bit more relaxed, more rest, and more like comfortable way to keep the as much you can, and the sport to the young person. And particularly is it sometimes is it depend somebody, the people come to see this dying person, because as the pleasant, the attractive object is good to show, to tell, and to hear, but the non-attractive something is the unpleasant object for this dying person, is something harming object, is not good, like his or her enemies, like, or her something is uncomfortable, even he or her children sometimes different, connections, very bad connections, and then better, and the moments doesn't come, to there, because then it's again is coming upset, angry, or jealous, or something like it's a disappointed man more, sometimes happen. So this all is we need to the challenger, the balance to the of the observation, those peoples, how to take care of the dying persons, what is good, what is not good to appears in the moments, these many things you can do benefit them. And then also others, the Dharma practitioners, you can take also the blessing pills, the Dharma blessing pills. We can say testing liberation blessing pills from the secret tantra sometimes, like for example the relax, or Buddha's relax, or of the great of the masters, the relax, the pills, if you have, but it's very rare. But that is very, very perfect to testing during the death. That's the liberation of test liberation. And then another blessing pills also can be a testing liberation. Then those people, they can make in the water and the mix, and then just test on the tongue. And then contact liberation is some secret mantra wheel, or the mandala of the mantra, the secret mantra of like doctor. So anyway, there's many. So this also is good to keep on the body, this pepper with the mantra, or just reciting the mantra, or chanting the mantra, or somebody's help to chanting the Amitabha Buddha's name, if the dying person is as Buddhist, especially of the power practitioners, very good to remember, help support to remembering about these techniques to transformation of power practice there. So if you have your guru is there, it's perfect, but that's not easy. But even if your Dharma friend, friend, Vajra Bodha, Vajra Sutra, so forth, if there, and then it's very good because they can also support to you to remembering about what is your actual the daily practice, because we are very weak, was long-term sick, ill, and the worry and panics and the moments as a pain, and then it's almost we can't remember what we could do something good things. So a little bit, it's a nerve. So therefore, that moment, if there's something good observers there, and then they can remind you something, make more stable and more clear to focus on your visualizations and can support to you remember of the lineage, your the refuge, your gurus, and your practice, And then not only power is the very common for everybody is important if you know, but particularly is what is your daily practice is more familiar. For example, is usually you like to meditation emptiness, for example, selflessness phenomena, and during the death you can also one point really focus on as much you can the emptiness of the selflessness self and selflessness phenomena, for example. If generally you like to meditate the practice of compassion and loving kindness, the bodhicitta mind is you have so of like that, such the familiarity practitioners, and then during the death, because this is more special for you, so therefore focus on the compassion and loving kindness, your mind without any aversion mind and jealous, so forth, the disturbing emotion mind without any also. And then in case some your daily practices like for example Avalokiteshvara or Guru Padma Sambhava deity, or something is the Tara, also any kind of which is specific your yidam, and then is during this death is just focus on your this yidam, the guru of your this yidam, appearances luminosity, and nature is selflessness of wisdom, and the unity, compassion, and wisdom appears of your yidam is the leader to the immediate next rebirth towards to the of nirvana or Buddha's Pure Land, something like this. Keep your trusting faith, focus on your generation stage of daily yidam, and focus your mind is on the as much you can is one point really the compilation stage of your daily practice, so forth, so on, so many different options, but which is more familiar for you, which is more habituated, was during your life, that is the more easy during the death, So there's many kinds you can do during the dissolution stage of death, because that's the chance, last chance of this life. Because if you can, your mind is focused on the positive emotion, then you have less suffering, less disappointedness mind, less of the suffering of the pain or the panics, Otherwise, if you focus on the negative emotions, attachment also, and then you have more pain, more suffering, and more panic, and more disappointed, and more regret, regretness, and that is not only problem the moments, but more problems just immediate next rebirth is a bad birth is coming, leading you, because the unfavorable conditions more strong. Achieving motivation is more negative, then achieved result is also as negative will be, this is a problem. Like similar, when they are nearly approaching of dissolution or sleeping, that times what is your main motivation? The attention mind is focused on the positive or negative before just approaching of sleeping. 80% and 90% round is sure in the dream. After you falling asleep is can dreaming same like was your projecting or the achieving motivation is which is more strong under your heart when you falling asleep with this motivation, and in the dream again appears same like this, because very angrily you sleeping with your enemy, and then is on your mind, and then in the dream 80% 90% something wrong you will be related to suffering with your enemy. If very you happy enjoy with faithfully on your something is focus on your guru, or maybe a very your good friend on the heart, and then is around 80 and 90% in the dream something you will be experiencing the relations of the positive to the of the good friend or your master or so on, This we can experience similar, very similar. Death, dissolution stage of death and dissolution stage of sleeping is very similar, the experiencings. And then in the intermediate state of experiencing exitant, and the intermediate state of the dream is very similar also. The experiencing is very similar. So you can learning many things from the dream and from sleeping to the preparation for the of death and for the of the Bardo of exit in the future, many things. So therefore dream yoga practice is very important actually. And then also, if there's possibilities to invite for inviting of the some qualified masters or monks and nuns something, and during this when there appears the sign of dissolution stage, and if they do some the transformation of the power practice, or maybe they do like Bardo the hearing liberation, the Bardo tutor pujas, not only but so many different of the special pujas and the prayers, the sadhanas they can use, and during this dissolution stage of the dying person is very helpful, if possible, But unfortunately, many other countries have not this chance. But in Tibet, there's almost 80%, 90% is we have the opportunity, chance to, inviting to such those holy beings and to prayer, and during this of the death, it's very helpful, So anyway, that is the generally what we can do during these important things of the dissolution stage of the death, the process of dissolution stage death. Then of course, if you are very great special practitioners like great perfection Dzogpa Chenpo practitioners, and then sure, and during your life, your master, your Ruru Guru already introduction to you, realization, your true nature mind, or the clear let or path clear let, they introduce to you. You have already experienced something generality of the self-awareness meditation, or this essence, luminosity, clarity mind, so many things. So therefore, during these dissolutions of death, you also must be focused on this practice. Then you have many chance, the first stage, second stage, and third stage, and the fourth stage, because the chance to liberation or chance to born and reborn on the Pure Land. Even not the first stage, because today I mentioned to you this course level dissolution, there's 4 stages, because each stages you have some step and step progress, the practice, meditations, the chance to liberation or transformation your mind. The first stage, if not, and then second stage, the chance. If not, and the third option's chance, If not, then fourth, Even not liberate, not transformation, and the fourth stages, but still before they talk tomorrow. But the detail, internet, the subtle dissolution stage, the sign, that times you have also chance coming to recognition, true nature of your mind, and to realization, true nature of the wisdom. So many, the means, the methods, the techniques from the Tantra teachings, So, anyway, so this, today we just, the first, mentioned to you the first part, the dissolution stage of death, which is meant the course level science of the dissolution stage of the author. So now we will be talk tomorrow is the internal sign of the sign appearances, the signs of the internal sign, the dissolution stage, the subtle dissolution stage of internal. So we leave here. So anybody, if you have any questions, so we go into the question answers. Yes.
You speak about we should reborn in this like Tushita and like this, yes, like what's the word? I forgot the name, but there's like 3 realms, yes. The
3 realms.
The higher one is like
Pure Land.
Pure Lands.
Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land,
Yes.
for example, you mean?
We should like reborn in this. You said yes, but this should be our aim. I mean, I always read about this. We should reborn like in a precious human life, and if we reborn in a Pure Land, we will have like this.
This is depend of these practitioners himself, motivation. Because why we are reborn again and again and again in the samsara? That means is because we haven't yet renunciation to the samsara. That means is we still have very strong attachment to the of samsara, like human realm, God realm, or we have very strong attachment to the pleasant object, or the pleasant feelings, the perceptions of the temporary happiness, enjoyment, and samsara, and the less. That is why we reborn again and again in the samsara. So the craving, we say, the negative emotion, the craving is as the root of the samsara, because cravings comes from producing from ignorance. Ignorance means is we apprehending to truly existent self, person, oneself, and we apprehending to others also truly existent, clinging oneself, clinging to others. So attachment to oneself and aversion to the others sometimes, the three poisons. And the three poisons performing the contaminated karma, the delusion. And when we complete it, the contaminated karma and the performed fully repentant resort in the samsara, the three realms. So this is meant is we have still having the attachment to the samsara, and that is they're leading us over and over and over in the same in the country of this world, Same, even the travelers, little bit you can judge, is it true? Is it true? What do you wish? And then almost your energies are always linking to there. So why everybody is come here to this earth, in Dharamsala here, for example, something, because you maybe wish was you want to go there. You have some attachment to come here. So therefore finally it's happened. It's there. I think it's very rare. Says, I have no idea. I doesn't want to go in this country, this place. But as I just happened here, this is almost is not possible. Almost only others force and the possible. But yourself, if you choose, not. But somebody wherever they're remaining and they have some is their connections to there and the linking, the projecting motivation, achieving motivation, and then achieve it. This is very normal, the regular, whatever people are, so wherever they're remaining, and that means is they have some linking, the he or her heart is there. So similar to why we linking into samsara again and again, because men by the projecting of the karma or the ignorance and the delusions, and they're linking into samsara. So now, if still we have this feeling, this vision, and then sure, next rebirth, again we reborn in samsara. But the upper realm or will be born in the lower realms depend the karma is it positive or negative is strong. As positive karma is more strong, then reborn will be reborn higher realm, and the negative karma is too strong, and then will be born in the unfortunately low realms in samsara. Then now we're talking about if you really something is want to liberation from strong wish to liberation, the faults of samsara and the suffering of samsara, which means it because you have experiencing the renunciation, you have of this suffering and the faults of samsara, you understand very clearly by the logic, by the reason, by on your experiencings or so forth. So therefore you doesn't want to training foolishly in the reborn and the samsara again and the indebted to the of karma and delusions, so forth, because many problems. So therefore you want to become freedom from these problems and the false sufferings, and therefore you want to achievement state of Buddha's pure land by the miraculously, by your devotion, by your faith, and by your pure motivation, and by the power of Buddha's lineages, gurus, dharmas, and the three jewels, the energies, the power of the energies, and the power of compassion and power of wisdom, by the power of wisdom, compassion, and the energies, and these two between yourself qualities and the qualities of Buddha's activities, and then interdependently, and then can focus on this motivation, and then is next rebirth. Your mental body miraculously born on the Pure Land means you will be liberated of the normal life of the samsara. So therefore, is where we'll be born is up to depend our motivation. Our achieving motivations. What do you like? what you understand, what is your wish, what is your aim, the purpose. So this is important, So that I'm saying, usually, sure, as much you can Dharma practitioners focus your final aim is not reborn again in samsara foolishly. But it can be born in samsara, but under the only wisdom and therefore only compassion. That's why we're born again in samsara, not attachment, but we want to benefit to the sentient beings. This attachment is not normal negative emotion or desire. That attachment is positive form of compassion and loving kindness to sentient being to benefit, So this kind is the manifestation, the reincarnated in samsara, tail emptying samsara over and over. But that means is they are freedom from the faults, only under the force of wisdom and compassion. This is different birth. So, like this way, so therefore you must be to know yourself what is next rebirth, means what is your final aim. And then can be happen to something generally of your this projecting.
Teacher, as I understood, like you said that in death, the gross element first disintegrates into the subtle element, and at the another level, the subtle element further disintegrates into lower forms, the atoms. So that means that when a person in the bodily embodiment, all of us can only reach to the level of higher consciousness and never attain nirvana as humans, because nirvana will be most probably the travel of consciousness from the pure land of Buddha to some other land. But as humans, we can only aim for attaining the Amitabh Buddha stage in this life.
Actually, body and mind is totally different. It's totally separated. The definitions, the characteristics, totally. It's a difference. Our body, the contaminated aggregates of form, will be exploded into the atoms. That is just the wilderness stages, the end of the death. But our consciousness cannot be exploded into the atoms, because since beginning not created from the atoms, that comes from our past energies or past karmic energy or consciousness. But this consciousness can be transferred into the wisdom mind. Normally ordinary people's mind, we say consciousness. We say consciousness, that's very ordinary, the continuity. That means is as long as our mind is directly related to the karmic energy, karmic wind, karmic energy, something dualistic grasping energy is there, and then that is consciousness is like we say, the karmic energy is like a horse, blend horse. And the self-awareness is like, how say the cannot walk, the feet, what's the problem?
Paralyzed? If the feet is paralyzed.
Okay, something anyway doesn't work, so it's I forgot English, the word, I can remember a moment. Anyway, and then this they read on the horse.
Cripple.
Okay, so crippled person is read on the horse, but open eyes, So, but that means is the consciousness is like that. We have no freedom where we go, where we will be born, when will be born, so forth, because like the horse, the reed, this man is the
Karma carries us.
Okay, so anyway, and the reed on the horse, himself cannot walking, but therefore the horse have no eyes open as a blend, so they have no idea, but is carrying everywhere. Like as a karmic energy is like that. It's our consciousness carrying by the reading on of the karmic energies. The karmic energies, the blendness foolishly, and traveler into the samsara, peak of existent and bottom of the hell realms. But the karma energy is different, change power because of your positive action or negative action. Then karmic energies is different functions. Therefore, as positive energy is more strong than karmic energies and lead as an upper realm. And the negative karmic energy is strong and then carrying us into the low realm or consciousness, reborn and low realm. So now what I'm talking is the main point answer to you. If you can separate from the blend horse like the karmic energies, means if you can appear as naked of your self-awareness. That moment, that is not consciousness anymore. Because consciousness is only calling together when they're reading this, the person who couldn't walk, and the walking, and then they read on the horse and the blind horse, and that is consciousness. So now when you having separated from the karmic energies, and then that is self-awareness, you have realization, true nature of your mind. That is Rigpa. That is not consciousness. But that means is ordinary dualistic mind, dualistic grasping mind or consciousness transferring into the of extraordinary wisdom mind. Okay, extraordinary wisdom mind. So this wisdom mind is freedom from karma, freedom from delusions. So then, is if you ask, is it possible still can reborn in the samsara again? Is it can possible, but that is not from the karma, not from delusions, but only by the power of wisdom, primary wisdom, and the great method of compassion. These two, just disciplining. So therefore, even looks same like us, they're born in the same mother's womb, but they are themselves mentally freedom from the faults of samsara and the suffering of samsara. Okay, mentally. But then why they still reborn in the samsara? That not means is attachment to the samsara, but they have compassion. So therefore, they want to attitude benefit to other sentient beings. They doesn't want to live there alone. So therefore, they want to benefit to them, leading them over and over and over. So that is how they could be born again in these realms. That does not mean is the wisdom mind to become again the physical of contaminated aggregates. That's not. But appearances depend on our perception. Then you can see they are also getting old and they're sick. In the end, they will die. It does not mean themselves is under the force of the ignorance and sufferings. So kind of like that. Anybody? You have any questions? Okay, so go ahead.
What's in Amitabha Pure Land? What happens there? If I reach there, I would like to know what to expect.
Oh, Amitabha Pure Land is without anger, without desire, without attachment, without any kind of disturbing emotion mind, without any kind of the suffering of change, and all pervasive suffering of the course level. Okay, but still that is not Buddhahood. Okay, that is just manifestation Pure Land, Buddhas of manifestation Pure Land, not actual or the Buddha fields. So. But that is easiest. If easy settlement is like this kind of the practitioners, poor practitioners, is to be born. The Buddha Amitabha's Pure Land is a little bit more easiest than other Pure Land even, because Buddha's the aspiration prayers different and during the history is different. So therefore, when you born there, then you have become the son, the heirs of Buddha's heirs. You are same family of Buddha. So then and during there, you can practice, you can meditate, you need to practice meditations, of course, generation, compassion, love. But that times is automatically, naturally, very easily, because less there's obstacles such of, because have no obstacle of samsara. That is the manifestation Pure Land. So is your heart is compassion and wisdom grow up, easily. You are the heir of Buddhas. So and then and this is the last time should. To immediate next rebirth is Buddhahood, Buddhahood from them. But it's a long life, not that is something like a few years or something like that, not, It's very long because only the mental wisdom body, that is body is a wisdom body, because miraculously born at the lotus, not born from the solidity of mother's womb. So therefore it's the miracle body. So miracle, the led body, that can be long life. And because directly you can receive teaching from Buddha Amitabha, so directly. But we haven't yet opportunity chance to receive directly from Buddhas the enjoyment body, like Sambhogakaya body or Dharmakaya body and Nirmanakaya body, So, but these Bodhisattvas can receive directly from Buddhas. teachings. So in the end, there will be attainment of Buddhahood.
And then Buddhahood, because I feel
Oh.
a bit strange
Oh,
being a
then.
Buddhist and not knowing what then.
So maybe you like training in the secular accident is more comfortable, isn't it? Right?
No. I just want to know. I want to know as a Buddhist. I want to know when you reach Buddhahood, then what?
Then what is Buddhahood? Buddhahood means what first you to know what is Buddha. Okay? You necessary to know what is Buddha, what is the qualities of Buddha. Buddha means is that we actually we need to carefully during teaching times. Many we talk to what is Buddha. Sangye. Sang means is a completely wake up from ignorant. Sang. Completely freedom from the obscuration of delusions, obscuration of to the omniscient. That is a Sang, the Buddha, one point. Gi means is therefore completely the achievement state of omniscience or all-knowing knowledge mind, which is the wisdom of primordial wisdom of suchness, wisdom and manyness wisdom. That is Buddha. Okay, does not mean Buddha with two eyes and there's two arms and two like us something. That is our image, But Buddha's the actual is not. That Buddha Shakyamuni he says, as long as you see Buddha is form, sound, smell, taste, contact, that is wrong view to the Buddha. Okay, Buddha's wisdom body, wisdom mind is not form, sound, smell, beyond sound, smell, taste, contact, sensations, ordinary people's perception even. But means is the primordially pure wisdom, and primordially is the essence of luminosity. That is the point of Buddha. Okay, that is the Buddha. So now your question, what happened to become Buddha means you become realization, will be realization, true nature of your primordial wisdom, and you will be realization, true nature, the essence of luminosity, the Buddha nature. Okay, everybody we had the seed of Buddha, but nobody yet of this samsara is yet not realization, true nature. So Buddhahood means when you will be to realization, true nature of your mind, better your wisdom, and that is you will be completely freedom from the delusion, karma, and to the obscuration or to the omniscient. That is Buddha. That happened. Okay, then is what happened after that. Means is then is a Buddha's energy, Buddha's activity of 5 kind, Buddhas of body, Buddhas of speech. The activity, activity better, Buddha's 5 kind of activity benefit to sentient beings, Buddha's body, Buddha's speech, Buddha's quality, Buddhas of the activities of activity, as there's the activity of activity, and that are not only 5, but the 5 can be become multiply as to depend to the capabilities of the capacity different of disciples, and then its manifestation to them benefit there. Bear wisdom, disciplining better wisdom and compassion. So that what happened is now is what today we have opportunity to listening some teaching of Buddhas. That has happened from Buddha. For example, as somebody you have little minutes compassion, love appears to your heart. That has happened. Energies from Buddhas. Somebody have some fun to understand the important things, how to benefit sentient beings or benefit yourselves. That is happened from Buddha's energy. For example, somebody to find more is the way enlightenment, the path. That is happened from Buddha's energies. So everything, something is the virtues, activities, and the virtue, the result or the positive. So that is directly or indirectly, that is the energy activity, the functions of Buddha's activities. So Buddha's activities beyond of ordinary people's perception, but is as long as sentient beings remaining in the samsara and the Buddha's energy is there. That has happened. Okay? So this kind is Buddha is not separate from us. As yourself is Buddha's insight of your heart. So therefore you need to fund from your heart actually. But at the very beginning we doesn't know how to fund from our heart the Buddha. So we need to take many different methods to lead step and step. And many different way, many different methods. The end when you will be achievement Buddha, at that time you understand is the nature primordially all sentient beings are Buddha. But problems is they are not yet recognized themselves. So therefore we need to introduce to them when you become Buddhahood. That has happened. Okay? All right.
It seems
Is it true then, as ordinary beings, it's better to wish to be reborn in Pure Land than to be reborn?
What do you mean? So what do you say again? Is it true?
Yeah, that it's better to wish to be reborn in the Pure Land.
But would you like the happy life or the what's the enjoyment life, or most of you like to achieve instead ultimate peace and ultimate enjoyment? You like, yeah?
Of course.
So that is a wish, right?
Yes.
So that's M, right?
Yes.
Okay, then what are your questions again?
My question is, it seems to be a higher aim to wish to be reborn in samsara to benefit others. But is that too high of an aim?
You to know how can do benefit to other sentient beings in the samsara. If you have this power already, then that is perfect, excellent. But if you have no techniques, method how to benefit to sentient beings in this samsara with this body, ordinary, very with the delusions of desire, anger, ignorant, jealous, hatred, harmful thought, harming mind, merciless mind, the pride, negative, arrogant, everything's with you together, and say, I'm going to benefit to sentient beings. Maybe it's harming them. Is it? Maybe. Unfortunately, your wish is not to harm them, but it's naturally harm each others. That is because sentient being, right? So therefore, if you couldn't help them, even maybe you cannot do much responsibility to your family, even if you like this embodiment, your body is full of this negative emotion too strong. Then as a forgot all sentient beings to benefit, but even as member of family heart, right? So therefore, first try to train your mind, one's own mind to training, one's own mind achievement state such qualities. And then is you go to in the samsara, that times you are stable. Even you cannot change everything at the moment, but they cannot change you. You understand? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's like we say, even if you follow in the path of Mahayana generation, some compassion, love is there, but that very beginning is the more important. You need to protect yourself is more important than to support to others. Try to. That means is easily you lose yourself if you try to go to there because you are very weak at the moment. Even you have motivation is pure, but your power is very very low. You are very new, like they said that the tree, the green leaf, the tree of the just the seedling, the seedling of tree. Because M is we need to this use for pillar, or maybe it's for the horse, make the horse, for example, the trees, big trees, right? But you say, oh, I want to make sport to make the pillar, of this horse. I must be tried, but you are too tiny. It's the tiny trees. That is not the time. That tiny tree is the time is important to protect. Many fan make the fence. Protect this to grow up the tree, because when tree is grow up, no need to depend on the fence, and that time is the chance, the right time to make the pillars. You can support of the ceiling. Otherwise, it's too early, and then is yourself will be damaged. So therefore, is this small tiny bodhisattvas, the mind is important to protect us more than to go to benefit and the sentient beings, because a very weak power. So today, sure, your pure motivation. So we have here Dharma class. So I am keeping this teaching. You enjoy listening. Oh, compassion, love is very nice, very important. Really, I want to benefit to others. Okay, I leave this class. I'm not going to, because I have no time to practice learning more. I must go because I saw many problems in New York. So go to in there, and then you stay there 1 week. Then anger is coming, jealous is coming, hatred is coming, because it depends. So many surrounded there, so untamed, like wild elephant, And then it's unfortunately represent to tame to them as to you tame. They're taming to you, means it's their control to you, right? So then you lost both. So this means that is not the time to benefit them at the moment. Mentally, always you can generate compassion, love, the energies. That we pray aspiration, but may all beings have happiness, cause happiness. That is we training our mind, But don't try to go to there directly to support everybody, because you cannot. Because next day you angrily come back, right? So therefore, it's first to make more strong and energies and make more training your mind. That is means, And then when you on time, that times try. to be, but it's anyways to balance. You need to balance your energy, how much you can to benefit. That is for directly your body and speech. If not, just mentally, just generate compassion, love to all sentient beings equally. But physically, verbally, is depend the situation and depend your power. So you recognize this term, your wisdom mind. It's good, I go to there or not for, that is. It's not easy to benefit sentient beings. Ordinary people, it's very hard, not easy, Like example, I cannot do so much, but anyways, kind of like a teacher. So means is we go to there and here teaching in the world. I already experienced more than 20 years. I talk. But that is not meant for, I'm not Bodhisattvas, of course. But still, I have a little bit of motivation to want to share benefit to them, important things, not only food, like clothes. I cannot share food, clothes, But I can share more important things than the food, something important to them. So, but I'm not very strong, the energies, the powers like Bodhisattvas. So it's very hard. When I go to in the wild, the only fool around is a wild elephant, and I'm inside there, about tiny insect. It's not easy, So really, so many stuff happened, But anyway, try abilities, Dedication prayers.
Sure.